First things first, don't ever try to play me, because if you do and I find out, it's gonna be problems, and I'm gonna deal with you accordingly. Because by nature, I can be very aggressive and demanding. You know what I'm saying? You know, typically I'm a cool person, but there are times when you have to show people what time it is. You understand what I'm saying? And I've learned in my adult life that every battle you don't have to fight. You don't have to go so hard in the paint every time, but you do have to stand up for yourself. And if you feel a certain type of way, you need to speak up. And if everybody can't understand that, that's not your problem. Shout out to all my new subscribers. We made it to 300 subscribers. Yay! Now I just need to get y'all to like my videos and share them. But everybody that supports me on a regular basis, thank you guys so much for the love. This video might be kind of intense, so just go ahead and prepare your mind, your bodies, and your souls, because my point will be understood by the end of it all. It might be kind of lengthy, but y'all know how we do. But I'm just saying how y'all feel. Y'all asked for vlogs and me to share my daily life. This is what I'm going through, and this is the life that God has set for me, so to speak. So anyway, I'm gonna try to make this video, you know, not too long. But basically, I just moved out, hence why I'm here, out of the old place that I used to stay. I had two roommates, two females that were sisters. It was a light-skinned sister and it was a dark-skinned sister. And, you know, it was a 3-bedroom apartment, 2-bathroom. I never really had no big issues with them, except they drank my orange juice and I'm smoking weed, which I think is a turn off for anybody, but especially if you're females. That's a whole nother situation. That's a whole nother video. But my whole point is this. Alright, let's, my rent was $600 a month. That included, you know, the utilities and lights and everything else. Basically, this month, I knew I was going to be late for my rent. And basically, I was working 2 security jobs, and I just started working at Forever 21. The hours were very inconsistent. They were like special events. It just, you know, it really wasn't no full-time hours. So by the time you catch up with your bills and you catch up to the new current, you still behind basically. So I knew what I basically knew what it was going to be. I knew I was going to be late for my rent. The rent is due on the 1st and at the latest the 5th. So I told the light-skinned sister, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be late for the rent. You know, can I speak to the landlord, and how can I have the landlord's name and number? Now this was through text message. So she texted me back some BS talking about, yo, it ain't even that serious. We don't gotta take it that far. I'm like, what? You ever looked at a text message real long thinking, wait, should I respond to this, or like, what is she talking about? It's not that serious. Like, we don't want to take it to the next level. Like, I had no idea what she was talking about. So she didn't respond. I was like, so that means you're not gonna give me the number? Like I said, she didn't respond. I was like, okay, so I like, hey, when I had the money, I just give it to them. If they want to be petty, I don't know what, it just raised so many questions in my head at that point, because up until then, I had never asked for a receipt, you know, no proof of anything. I just paid my dues, you know, and that was it. You know, I trusted them. I had no reason not to believe them, and, you know, there was never no suspicions or anything like that. But when she said that, that just raised all type of red flags, like I think anybody would. So one day I was in the kitchen, a few days ago, and the dark-skinned sister approached me in the kitchen, and she got very aggressive. She was like, yo, Red, they call me Red. He was like, so what's up with the rent money? You think you're gonna have it? And first of all, I'm eating, and when I'm eating, don't do that. Like, it's just not the time. If I'm in the kitchen, I'm trying to eat, sweetie, and just don't talk to me in the kitchen. Like, text me, call me later, can we talk about it later, something like that. I'm trying to eat right now, you understand what I'm saying? So that was the first offense. Don't talk to me while I'm eating. Secondly, she started getting real loud, and I'm like, you ever seen your mind like this situation just gonna go way further than it need to go? I said, can you calm down, you know what I'm saying? And when I did that, boy, did she go off the handle. It's like, you always talking about you might love it. I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? First of all, I'm just talking about the situation. I already talked to your sister. I already told her what it is. I'm going to be late for the rent, blah, 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 whatever I said. And I said, she didn't respond to myself. He said, down, got nothing. All I want to know is you going to have the money or you not going to have the money. I'm like, how is she acting? Before you know, the light-skinned sister came out the room, and it was just a big commotion. And the sister, she started going ballistic, irate. I don't know what the hell was wrong with her, but she was like on some crank, meth, weed calms you down, so they say. I don't know. She was on something. It had to be. It was no legitimate reason for her to be going off on a deep end like that. She was acting like she was literally trying to fight me when all it was just a simple conversation. And then I had went back to my room. You know, I was talking to my friend on FaceTime, and you know, I had in my headphones. You know, chatting, blah blah blah. Blah. And before I knew it, this girl started banging on the door, acting alright. He like, you don't hear that? And I took off my headphones. I really wasn't paying attention. I just really wasn't. I was zoned out. You know, I was trying to enjoy the conversation. And she's going off the deep end like, you can't stay here. You need to get your, and you need to get out, blah, blah, just cursing, just going ballistic. And this went on for a while. And I'm like, I thought everything had calmed down. It calmed down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out the light-skinned sister had knocked on her door. I came out. She went crazy again. She was cool for a lot. And I said, I talked to you, but I can't deal with it. Like, she was standing there like, you know, all this attitude. And then she went off again. I'm thinking, did I miss something? Like, why is she acting like she really act like I slapped her? Like, I put my hands on her the way she was acting. So I just went back in my room once again. For you know what, I thought everything had calmed down. I go to the bathroom. I'll go to the bathroom. People knocking on the door. When I came out, it was a white man. Who is this white man at the bathroom door waiting for me to come out? So I'm like, this situation is going to go from bad to worse. This not even the landlord at this point. All this information I'm just finding out. So whatever you think at this point, it's about to get 20 times worse. So, before you know it, her boyfriend there, the dark-skinned sister, the light-skinned sister, the white man, is me, and it's just a house full of people that's kind of doing the most. When it was just a simple situation, it really wasn't supposed to be that deep. So he was like, yo, so I'm like, who are you? Like, why are you talking to me? I said, are you the landlord? He's like, no, but I co-signed. I'm like, wait, how are you the co-signer? I said, when I moved in this place, all I knew is that, I'm trying not to say the name, the light-skinned sister and the dark-skinned sister, they were the two people on the lease. Who are you? He's like, well, I signed for them to get this place. I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely something right about here. I said, and when I tell you, there's so much, I would literally be telling you the story for years and years and years. Like, it was so much information being revealed to me, and basically they was trying to play me. I believe that they were pocketing my money, having the time of their life, and I ain't gonna even get ahead of myself. All right. So before I knew it, you know, I had went in my room, the boyfriend was in the room with me, the co-signer was in the room, I was trying to explain the situation. I said, all I really wanted at this point is I just wanted receipts that I paid my rent, you know what I'm saying, that how much the rent is. Like, that's all I wanted to see. I wanted to know how much the rent was and to make sure it matched with my papers. When I signed this is how much the rent is. I'm giving my half for the rent, blah, 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 blah. That's all I really want to know. Just say, well, you don't have the right to know that because it's an agreement between you and blah, blah, blah. It don't have nothing to do with you, the landlord. You don't need the landlord's name and number. And I'm thinking, something just don't sound right about that. I mean, only reason why it actually raised a red flag now is because she told me no, and she said it's gonna make it the situation bigger than what it has to be. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell does she mean? It's gonna be how is me asking? I said, rather than y'all just come to me and keep asking me, how about I talk to him directly, have his name and number, so I'll be like, hey, this is Xavier, you know, I'm gonna be a little late with my rent, but I will give you the late fee, whatever I gotta do, versus y'all coming through him, me coming through. It's just too much. And when they told me no, I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird to me. It's just kind of weird to me. So long story short, I had to call the police because I'm about to curse. These people started getting irate, started pushing in my AC, my little window AC. You understand what I'm saying? I had my big TV screen flat. No, you're not finna do that. And they're trying to intimidate me to pay the rent. It's like, if you're not gonna pay the rent, you need to get out of here, blah, blah. Anybody knows that you can't just kick people out your house, sweetie. Even if you thought they wasn't trying to pay the rent. And I said, it's not that I didn't have the money, but I need to make sure y'all ain't pocketing my money. It's like, well, what does it matter if we pocket your money, you know, as long as you get to stay here? I'm like, do these people hear themselves? Like, who do you think you're talking to? It ain't working like that. If the rent, I'm gonna give you an example. If the rent is $1,000, let's say the dark skinned sister pay $500, and the light skinned sister pay $500, and I'm paying $600. That's $1,600 a month amongst us. That's $300 for her, $300 for her. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I don't need y'all pocketing my money. I can go somewhere else for that. I need to make sure the rent is going where I need to go. And I just felt uncomfortable, and it just something wasn't right about that. It was just shady, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing no information. So anyway, I had to call the police. He's like, well, you know, it ain't really your business. You know, you don't have to know that. I'm thinking, first of all, people tell you whatever they want you to believe. Once I believe something, I stand by it, and that's just pretty much what it's going to be. And I left the situation. I didn't tell nothing. I moved out. You know, I didn't do anything too petty. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to incriminate myself. That's what I'm saying. I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That y'all gonna find out. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, I try to leave in a peaceful situation, and it's just so much. This would be the longest video of my life if I would sit here and tell y'all everything. The sort of her boyfriend, a dark skinned person boyfriend, trying to intimidate. I'm like, dude, are you gonna hit me? Like, what's the deal? Like, you need to back up away from me. You understand what I'm saying? You don't live here. I don't owe you no explanation. You feel me? Like, people may think I'm soft. I don't know what they think. I don't really too much care. But if you cross that line with me, you're gonna see me go from 1,000 to 2 million quickly. You feel me? And I'm gonna tell you, like Jack Nicholson told Adam Sandler or somebody else in the movie, he's like, there are two type of angry people. There's the angry people that, you know, you make them mad, they go off on the deep end, you know, they just react like this. And then there's a second type of person who holds it in, and then kills everybody in the office. Let's just say I'm part 2. That's all I got to say. I'm not gonna show out right then. I'm gonna hold it in, and I ain't gonna react when you think I'm gonna react. You probably gonna think I'm over it, and then before you know it, that's it. So we had a Forever 21 meeting this morning. Guess who I saw? The darksome crazy girl. And I say, if this world ain't small, I ain't never seen this girl, even though I just started working there. Like, this was like a corporate meeting. I don't know if she actually works in my store, but when I saw it, I'm thinking, and she made sure she kept her distance away from me. I don't know if she was, I could tell she was keeping her distance away from me. But I kept thinking, I'm like, this world is so small. For real, for real. And I'm going to tell you how you got to be careful what you say, how you do, what impressions you leave, what you tell people, because it won't be long before all that stuff comes to light. She told me that she works at Wells Fargo. I have never seen anybody that works at a bank need a part-time job at a Forever 21 or any other place that's part-time. I'm just saying, because anybody that works at a bank obviously makes good money. She a liar. And I told my friend, I'm thinking, like, first of all, how are you working at Wells Fargo, but you always at home, always smoking weed? You a bank teller? I thought the hours were like from 8 to like 6 or 7. Like, an hour before y'all open, an hour before the bank closes. Like, what are you talking about? And I told that to my friend. He's like, your first was a mistake. First of all, if I moved anyway, you should have made sure you had the manager's name and number, the landlord, whoever you pay rent to. I said, yeah, that's true. It's one of those things that you have to go through the experience and then see what it is. I don't know. Some things you just don't think about. You have to go through it. So I'm thinking, I'm glad I didn't mess up them girl stuff. I didn't, you know, be real evil, conniving, like fat they tire, bust the windows out their car like a Jasmine Sullivan type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been even more awkward. And this one thing my grandma used to always say: God can deal with people better than you can. And I saw it like this. If I take matters in my own hand, first of all, they can take you to court. And I've been through that situation before where I moved out of place and people thought I damaged their property. Not saying that I didn't, but I'm just saying it can just take, it could just, when you leave, just leave. Like, it ain't that serious. If people want to be petty, and they had threw away my food, and it was just it was so much. Like, I'm telling you, I would be telling the story all day. It was so many details and so many, I'm getting frustrated even thinking about it. Like, that's why I didn't want to tell you guys right away, because I ain't completely over it. But you ask and you ask and ask. But there it is. What else you want to know? What do you want to know? I mean, did I answer all your questions? That's the situation. So I'm at where I'm at. I'm in between now. So I'm gonna be working some shifts at Forever 21. It's about to get Christmas, Thanksgiving season, so it's gonna get crazy. So I'm gonna be working a lot, but I'm gonna try to make sure, guys, that I do these videos for you. Y'all know I talk a lot, at least on serious situations. I do. I try not to make the videos too long, but that's what it is. I love you guys. Thank you for support. Make sure you share these videos. Maybe you'll watch this on the day you don't got nothing to do, because this is quite a long video. This is the longest video I think I've ever made. in my whole entire life. But you get the point. If somebody is trying to play you, you have the right to ask a question. If they getting all defensive and out of character, like what I dealt with, something probably ain't right. So guys, tell me how you feel on how I dealt with the situation. Could I have dealt with it a different way? Was I wrong? Was it really not my business to ask for the landlord's name and number and I should have just told them about my payment arrangements? What are you guys' thoughts? It's ATWDTV, all the way driven, baby.